Welcome to Alberta to Arizona. I'm your host, Tracie Gray, and we are comparing the difference between buying real estate in Canada and down in the United States. So on the Canada end today, we've got Devin Gray up in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, with eXp Realty and Mogul Realty Group. And then down in the States, we've got Diane in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona, Phoenix area with Coldwell banker, professional real estate agent Diane Brennan joining us.
Hello, how are you guys?
Hello.
And future, we are good. And citizen of the world, you were
That's
just telling
right.
us. Very exciting.
Triple citizen.
Yeah, I just learned this morning that I am now an Italian citizen. So I was born in Edmonton, Alberta, so I'm a Canadian, and I live in the U.S. So I'm also have my U.S. citizenship, and now I have my Italian one. So I'm like just James Bond. I'm just gonna pick, whatever passport.
Yeah, that's incredible. How long did that take you to get? You said it was a very long process.
Yeah, well, I started before COVID. So I kind of had given up, like, gosh, I think they've lost all my paperwork and stuff. So I'm excited that it moved out. And my father's Italian, so that allowed me to get my Italian citizenship. So if I retire, I just want to, right now you can only spend 3 months in Italy. So it just gives me the option of, working there or spending 6 months at least. Well, you can spend as long as you want if you're a citizen, but I'd like to do 6 months here, 6 months there, and just different opportunities too. If I wanted to work there, hopefully I can get an EU passport and then, possibly work in the European Union somewhere too.
Yeah, and so European
Amazing.
Union passport would mean that you could go, I mean, I don't know, what is there, 15, 16 nations in the European Union?
Yeah, I don't know exactly, but yeah, you can go to any of them that are part of it, except for Britain, I
United
guess now,
Kingdom, of
right? Yeah,
course, because of
yeah.
Brexit
So
and all that
Brexit's
mess.
that's not an option, but yeah. So I'm
Aw,
excited. So maybe I'll do real estate, in Europe too. You never know.
okay.
Absolutely. I've actually
Yeah.
got a client that I helped purchase a house a little while ago. I was just connecting with her a couple weeks ago, and she spent the summer in Italy. She's got a daughter that lives there. Sorry, yeah, a daughter that lives there, and she was over there. This is several years ago. She was over there on a long extended vacation. Met a gentleman from there, and who said, "I love you, I want to marry you, but I am not moving to Canada."
Oh
so
wow.
so she stayed, and so she's yeah, she's got a family there. So anyway, she was over there for 2 months in the summertime, and I can't remember the small village that they live in, but she said it's right on the coast, and just gushed about the amazing, just how beautiful that country is. We've never been, but yeah, it's just everybody says it's definitely a place to visit, and obviously you've got a tremendous passion for it.
Yeah, I love it. It's beautiful for sure. And I tell everybody, I post on my Facebook a little while ago. I said, if you buy or sell a home with me, then you definitely have a free place to stay in Italy. So that's my new sales tagline.
Done. All
Yes. So
right.
you guys were in
Yeah.
Paris and Venice and other places in Las Vegas.
Yeah, funny enough, we never made it to Venice or Paris. We
No.
made it to New York, New York, though.
Oh, good.
We were down there for EXP Con, and the event was at the Mandalay Bay. So we spent most of the time at that hotel, but we did venture up. Actually, funny enough, you'd mentioned before we were going that you like to stay at the Cosmopolitan. Somebody that's part of the Mogul Realty Group in Vancouver, that's where him and his wife go all the time, and he wanted to walk down one night from the Mandalay to the Cosmopolitan, all part of the MGM resorts, and have a drink in, I can't remember the name of the bar. It's two levels.
Chandelier.
There
Chandelier
you go.
bar. Yeah.
Chandelier, yes. Oh, yeah, chandelier. Oh,
Yeah,
chandelier. Yeah.
The
chandelier.
chandelier. I didn't really like
Chandelier.
my stay there. It was pretty sketchy. Did
Oh,
they like
oh,
it?
Really?
Oh
Oh,
my
I
gosh.
yeah,
love that
he loves it.
casino.
Like and actually, it's
So
funny enough.
pretty.
So right next door is the Luxor, and so there was 6,500 agents there from around the world, and most were at the Mandalay Bay, but a lot were at the Luxor because it was right next door, and there was definitely lower standards than what he was used to by staying at the Cosmo. So I think he needed a little taste of the Cosmo that one night, and we went to Chandelier and had this really. You actually looked it up. What's the name of that drink?
Uh, the drink, I can't, I can't remember the name of the drink, but I looked up
Vibera, I think
yeah,
Verbera.
Verbera.
Yeah.
I think it's a citrus drink with tequila and vodka in it. But what makes it special is it comes with Szechuan button flour in it. And so you take a few sips of the drink to taste it without the flour, so you can see what it tastes like. And then you chew the flour and swallow it, and it numbs your mouth and throat.
Completely numbs your mouth.
Completely numbs them. And
Are we
the
going
big
here
thing
with
they
this?
say-
Are we going here with this video?
They say just don't freak out.
Where are we going with this?
Is this one of those things that's supposed to stay in Vegas when it happens?
I think so.
They said don't freak out, but it's totally going to numb your mouth and throat. And then it makes the drink taste completely different.
Yeah.
I bet it does.
And
Yeah.
then all four of us had it, and we're all going, I'm freaking out.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm trying not to, but I'm freaking out.
And all
Oh,
the pink
interesting.
elephants flying around the room agreed that it tasted different. No, but yeah, you do freak out because it numbs your mouth and throat. The drink is completely different for about a minute.
About a minute, and then it starts to
dissipate. It all
and
tastes like it originally did
Yeah,
then. It's
yeah.
really wild. But
Interesting.
apparently that flour has been used to like for dental work, like if you need to numb your gums.
Oh, and it's a Szechuan blossom. Szechuan blossom.
Or
That's what
button is what I was told, but it could be. It could be.
Oh, I don't know. I just was repeating.
they call it
Szechuan-
blossom in
Cool.
Italy, so you're on the right
The
track.
Szechuan button, though. I'm trying to. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay,
Szechuan
Szechuan button. Cute. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that the
Yeah, very.
I'm
very
glad
cool.
that the Cosmo is better because it was definitely interesting when I was there for my birthday. Different clientele,
Really?
a lot of different
Really
clientele.
sketchy?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
really sketchy.
No, it was
A
pretty.
lot of working
upscale.
people there.
Oh no!
Oh,
Oh no!
Well, what time
And-
were you there at?
Well, no, all the time. And even my friend Chrissy, she's from Edmonton. She is married to Brent Fitz, who was a drummer for Theory of a Dead Man, and he's Slash's drummer. They live in
Okay.
Vegas. They have for years. She was like all apologetic to me because she told me to stay there. She goes, I am so sorry, Diane. She goes, this is like gone way downhill. Da, da, da. Like it was crazy when we were there. So I'm glad to know that it's different times of the year and different parts. It's different
Yeah.
kind of people because it was,
Yeah.
I would never stay there again. Let's put it that way.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
happened.
See, we were
Yeah.
only there the one night, but it didn't seem sketchy to us at all.
No, it didn't, and also,
Yeah.
I mean, this could be conference season. It was crazy. Not really. Like, why would you? When we're there in Vegas, why would you go to one of the big convention centers of these hotels? But it was 3.5 day conference. We were at the Mandalay Bay Convention Center all week, and so 6,500 agents on the second and third floor, and they had another conference there. Some travel company out of the States that had another 4,000 people there. So there was well over 10,000 people that were coming and going, and it seemed busy, but it wasn't like you were bumping into people. These places are so massive. It's
Yeah, they are.
unbelievable. So
I was gonna make-
I got the impression there was a lot of conferences going on that week, so that would potentially change the clientele maybe a little bit.
Yeah, and constantly there are. So yeah, I was in the summer where not a lot of people visit, but I was there during the NBA season.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. I won't say more. I'll let everybody. If people want to ask me privately what it was like, I'll let them know. But
Well,
yeah.
we took your advice because you had said you want to make sure that the casinos know that you're there because that's how you get comp to come back another time, right? Like you said, as soon as you get there, talk to concierge, and now they actually through MGM and all the casinos they own, which I think is most of them in Vegas now. They have a huge lineup of
About eight
Yeah.
or so. Like that.
Yeah,
whole-
there's two big
Yes.
groups that own all of them.
apparently owned by the Italians, is what I heard too. So there you go.
Good people.
Good people, that's right. But anyway, yeah, you said so. Get in there, make sure the the hotel knows that you're spending money in the casino, in the restaurants, in the spa. Put your hotel points on
Register.
there.
Yeah, register for their point program. Yeah.
So we did. We registered for that. Did a little bit of slot machines on it. They said that's a big one. They like to see you using the slot machines. Our dinners were on there. Spa. The hotel room, everything was on there. And when we got home, we got an email that we had $6 worth of rewards.
That's impossible.
So we got a ways to go, I guess. So
No. That's impossible. I would call
$6.
them. I thought you were going to tell me you're going to have 6 nights free. That's what would happen.
$6.
No.
No. That's
We'll have to
there's
look
something
into
wrong
it then,
there.
I guess. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just probably hasn't been added to your account yet. There's a mistake there. That's impossible. I mean, on my first night there, I got $300 in free play. And then by the time I got home, I had like 6 free nights, and I wouldn't, yeah.
Wow.
And I was hoping the dates would line up when you guys were there, because I have the day that you got back, the next day started my, when I could take advantage of having
Yeah.
these several nights and stuff. But anyway, so we'll get to real estate.
Yes.
Did you learn lots about real estate and lots of tricks of the trade or tips or?
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, obviously, as you know, and we'll mention it and we'll move on, Diane. But there's obviously a lot of agent attraction courses and how to talk to people. And the message there is we're looking for people that are looking for us is really what it is. And it's just
Really? I think you guys are looking just for people in general. Are you kidding me? I was thinking the poor city of Las Vegas. How many people got asked to do
Oh
it?
yeah, we were just they were all mesmerized. Well, it's that flower, that we have a different flower that numbs the brain, and
We're
then
looking for people that are looking for us. No, you guys are looking for people.
so anyway, it's very inspiring from that standpoint, and then just great to. It was really cool to just be listening because all the speakers are just EXP agents that were saying, hey, my first year 15 years ago, I sold 3 houses, but then I sold 10, and then I sold, and now they've like some of these people that they've got big teams and they're doing $200 million worth of business, and the top guy in EXP, his company, he's in like 5 different states. He's a $600 million company. So they're just very inspiring when they talk about, hey, not too long ago, I was just this solo agent trying to find out and just lots of mapping out, how they got to where they wanted to be and stuff like that. And then the mornings are 4,000 people in one of the grand ballrooms, and just again, lots of inspiring. Actually, one of the most interesting ones was Tarek El Moussa, who used to be Fix and Flop. He spoke for about 30 minutes, and it was pretty amazing to hear that he was actually a realtor before he did Fix and Flop. I didn't know that. But he met somebody from Palm Springs who said, hey, I have a TV show, and that's how I get listings and get leads. And he went to his wife at the time and said, we need a TV show. And she said, well, what would it be about? And they happened to have bought a house and were trying to figure out how to do a flip, but they'd never done a flip before. And so he said, well, why don't we do it on this flip? She says, well, we don't even know what we're doing. He goes, well, let's just phone up some production companies and see if anybody's interested. So they did. Somebody was. Long story short, about a year later, they said, yeah, we love this idea. Let's do 13 episodes. So you need to flip 13 properties. And he's like, I've never even done a flip. I don't know what I'm doing. Like,
wow.
where do I find properties? So
Yeah.
the whole point was like, even when you don't know what you're doing, take action. But it was just, everybody was like, I thought he was like this expert and unbelievable. But one person spoke to me and said, oh, I get now why they were constantly going over budget in a lot of the earlier shows, because they had no clue what the budget was doing and what they were. Yeah, so
like, this number sounds good.
Yeah, so it was pretty wild to hear that story, just because of course, there's like up in Canada, there's a gentleman named Scott McGilvery who does income property up here on the Canadian HGTV. I don't know if it's down in the States, but he had done a lot of flips and knew exactly what he was doing by the time that show started. So just the automatic assumption was Tarek did the same thing, but no, they had no clue what they were doing. But even from getting a TV show, it's like his wife said, you'll never get a TV show, just get that out of your mind. And he went, So he Googled television production studios, and like 10 came up, fired off his concept to 10 of them. One of them came back and said, yeah, let's throw together a demo tape. So he did, and they did paint they were painting baseboards, and there was paint all over the floor, and things were hung crooked. He said it was just atrocious.
Yeah.
But they fired it off to the production studio, and they tried to sell it, and that's when it kind of died down. And then all of a sudden, 11 months later, they said HGV gave us a call, and they saw the video, and they said, yeah, you two are the ones they want to work with. So boom, we need 13 shows. Right now.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, and that's good in a way, because you're kind of learning, everyone getting into the flip game doesn't have experience. So you're kind of learning through his mistakes too. So that's pretty cool.
It was excellent. It was very inspiring. And again, just for those people that are, and there's tons of people that we all know that say, well, I don't know how to do it, so I won't do it. Until
Yeah.
I get educated, I won't do it. Well, no, you get educated by getting out and doing it. And that was the message. And yeah, just lots of great, inspiring people. There was, like last year, they had Grant Cardone, who was very good. This year, they had his wife, Elena, who just talked a lot about, her goal as a child was to be a billionaire. And so just about reverse engineering how to get there, her and Grant are, that's their...
So was mine.
Yes. Well, Italian lira
I'll
billionaire.
learn you how to, I will write a book on how to fail on being a billionaire. And I can give you a step-by-step course. My course is $2.99.
The guaranteed tried and true ways to not become a billionaire. I love it.
Exactly what not to do.
Okay, well, we could
Not become a
add a
billionaire.
chapter to that one right now. Spend all your money on expensive drinks at the Cosmopolitan.
Right? Yeah,
Sure.
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
And did you say you had a good real estate story to share?
Oh, yes. So we have a company down here, and I won't say their name, but basically they promise to take 3 days to sell your home. So during the height of the market, it was incredibly frustrating for buyers and buyers agents because they wouldn't, first of all, the agents wouldn't even answer your calls, and they would only hold the house open for like 45 minutes to 2 hours. So they caused a huge frenzy. There would be lineups up the door, and the their sales pitch
Their
was,
business model.
their business model was to generate activity so that sellers would not have any showings and be inconvenienced. So they would open up the house for a small window. And that caused huge panic. People were lined up. People were stressed. We would try and call the agents. They wouldn't call us back. It was just frustrating anytime you had to deal with this company. Any realtor in Arizona cannot stand this company or dealing with them. And it's one thing, okay, we understand your model, but could we have some information on the house? Could you answer questions we have? Won't even take your calls. Just ridiculous. So I have a listing in McCormick Ranch in Scottsdale, which the market is down here, but McCormick Ranch in Scottsdale is booming. It's incredibly attractive. People want to live there. It's not even affected. So wouldn't you know that the owner of this company or his child is looking to buy a place? And we so happen are not having any showings until the weekend, but we're holding it open Saturday and Sunday, and then all offers are due on Monday. So this person called me and is very upset that they couldn't get into the property. I said, well, tell you what, we'll let you go on the property. No problem. We're just not having offers until, Monday and then Tuesday review. So they were really upset. And they go, if we want to offer, they put in an offer in the evening and they wanted an answer by noon the next day. I said, no, we want to keep it on the property. Well, you need to present it to your sellers. I said, of course I'll present it to my sellers. So they were really upset. And I just said, why are you getting upset? This is your business model. And now the tables have turned and you're the buyer. And now you see what a problem it's been for all of us for the past 3 years. So anyways, interesting how karma
and
comes around.
Did he just shrug his shoulders, or did he actually have a fair comment back?
No, didn't have. Well, what could he say? It's absolutely right. Now he sees how frustrating it's been for absolutely everyone. It affects your life. Like we're dealing with homes and places to live, and they're trying to find a place to start a family, and they've been looking in the same area. And, I'm like, I at least let you see the property. I at least answered your calls. So anyways, I'm telling every agent I know, and they're like, yes, Diane, thank goodness, like some vindication. Yeah. So
book number 2.
exactly. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You're getting upset at me. This is your business model I'm taking a page from.
We went, this is a great idea. Thanks for
Right. Exactly. Not too fun, is it?
No, that would be so frustrating.
Yeah.
So good for you, Diane.
Oh, it is. It is. So
hopefully made a difference.
You always
No, go ahead.
You always hope for karma, but when you actually get to see it, it's pretty sweet.
That's
right?
True.
Yeah.
I was just going to say that I'm not surprised by Scottsdale because we certainly in Edmonton as well. We've got certain areas that are not really being affected. I mean, ultimately, if you're buying, if you've got the ability to buy a particular price point of property, then you're not necessarily as concerned about interest rate situations. You probably have a very good relationship with your mortgage broker or your banker, And what's a few extra $100 onto a mortgage payment? And
Yeah.
if you see a house you want, you're going to go get it. And I'm also thinking as well that prices are probably dropping a little bit in Scottsdale. So now all of a sudden these people that, a year ago Scottsdale was just a dream and a fantasy for them has now become a reality for them. Would that
Well, in this area of McCormick Ranch, they're not dropping because the demand's
Oh,
there.
oh wow.
So, I mean, in some areas of Scottsdale, there might be a little bit. Phoenix, definitely. And the 15 other cities besides Scottsdale and Phoenix are feeling it. But McCormick Ranch is just, yeah, the demand is there. So prices aren't dropping.
Something that triggered me. I don't think we've ever talked about this in Canada. For quite a few years now, we actually have what we call the stress test, which I can't remember the difference between the actual interest rate available and how much higher. But when interest rates were before COVID, because this has certainly been around for a number of years, before COVID, people were concerned about buying a big house, potentially a house more than somebody can handle, especially if interest rates start to go up. So I should know the difference. Let's say it's 1%. So if, let's say, interest rates are 3%, they actually will qualify you based on the idea that interest rates are 4%, because the idea being that if interest rates do move up, you can still afford your payments. And so that's actually what's happening. And people are sitting on the sidelines up here. There's uncertainty, there's instability. People are wondering where everything's going. Inflation's making it more difficult to buy things. But on top of that, and we just had another 0.5% interest rate increase yesterday. And so the idea being that as the variable rate goes up, the stress test goes up, and which makes it so that people can still buy a house, but their ability to buy a house shrink, like the size of house and the cost goes down. I take it you don't necessarily have anything like that in the States.
Well, we don't. I'm laughing at Tracie. I'm not laughing at you,
We've
Devin. I'm laughing
we've
at
got an
Tracie.
extra dog here today.
Laughing at Tracie.
We're dog sitting. This is
Yeah.
my mother's dog. We're dog sitting him. This is
Devin
Wendell.
is
This
his
is
buddy.
Wendell.
Yeah, that's Wendell.
Wendell.
Diane.
Wendell's about 2 years old.
Yeah, he was crying and running all around our chairs just now, so I was trying to catch him.
Yes, I
See if
saw
I
you. That was
could lift him
cute.
up. But he's Devin's buddy.
Yeah.
He wanted Devin's attention. If you lean that way, there's our dog, all disgruntled in the back. The other way, there's our dog, all disgruntled in the back. But she's
There
not
you
getting
go.
all the attention. Yeah.
That's cute.
Wendell was seriously getting upset that there's no attention on me.
He's like,
So
hello.
Yeah.
he started to whine. So.
I love the name Wendell for a dog. I have a good friend named Wendell. So, anyways, if he's watching this, he's gonna be like, "What?" So we have 30-year fixed mortgage rates, so we don't have to worry about interest rates
of course,
going up
right.
and down.
Yeah, that's right.
So, but that's a good idea. We do have different variations in property taxes, so that if a lender is good, then they'll have that conversation with their client and realtor and let them know, your property taxes could change, they could increase. So, but other than that, we're locked in for 30 years, the same payment. It's a beautiful thing.
Right, and then you can negotiate when interest rates go. You can go in and refinance and take advantage of the lower interest rate.
Right, absolutely. And you can refinance with no penalty here anytime as long as you want. So that's generally
because there is a lot of talk right now about. Just saw in the news yesterday with a mortgage broker. It's well, should I sign up for 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 7 year? Because what's going to happen with interest rates over the course of the next year to 2 to 3 years? And of course the mortgage broker was like, well, that is the $1 million question, and it really comes down to what is best for you.
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to be there long term? Can you handle the mortgage payments? What other factors are going to affect your life? And so all that stuff's going to play a part. Fixed rates work in conjunction with the bond market, so they don't necessarily get affected like the variable rate does, which is attached to the Bank of Canada rate. So as the Bank of Canada rate goes up, the variable rate goes up. And so then people have to make decisions about, well, do I go variable or do I go fixed? And most investors will go variable because in the long run, they'll win out. And then plus the fact your payout penalty is just 3 months interest. So they like that flexibility. But I do know that interest rates have been going up so fast um, that's an extra $100, $150 in interest depending on your mortgage, and so that's really cutting into a lot of investors' cash flow, and a lot of people are having to extend out amortizations, sell a house potentially just to kind of sell your dog, so to speak, and pay down the mortgage on the good properties and various things like that. Don't sell this dog.
Yeah, we can't sell him.
So those are all the conversations and questions that are being asked and looked at based on interest rates moving up so fast here. And we've got one more time this year, I believe, that the Bank of Canada looks at the state of the economy and whether or not they're going to affect interest rates. And most likely, it's never like will they? It's by how much. And
Sure.
it seems like they've kind of got comfortable in other than the big 1% interest rate that they did increase in July. It seems that they've settled into about 0.5% now. So that's what's happening here.
So for homeowners, people that aren't investors, is this the season in Edmonton where they're not, real estate isn't moving that much because we're heading into winter, or what kind of activity is typical historically and what are you seeing now?
Yeah, so I mean, knock on wood, thankfully I'm still quite busy. I had a lot, kind of evenly between buyers and sellers. There's some buyers that they've actually been, the interest rate hasn't necessarily been a situation that, well, let me back up a bit. The 1.5 and the 1.7% interest rates during COVID were not normal. And that's the biggest thing that a lot of people are finally starting to recognize. Again, going back to, not that long ago, interest rates were at 5%. We've talked a lot, Tracie and I, about when we bought our first house in 1998, we were thrilled to get 8.25%. Now, nobody wants to see that anymore, but if we do get to that, it's not the first time we've been there. But anyway, so for some people that kind of are recognizing that and their mortgage payments work for them, I just went pending on a property with some people that sold their condo that they lived in the spring when things were busy, couldn't afford the house the type and style of house that they wanted to because it was too expensive. And so they decided to rent. But now what's happened is these same types and styles and locations of houses have dropped $40,000 to $50,000 from the spring, and they went, we can afford these payments. We can now afford this house. So they've now put, they weren't thinking that they were going to buy for another 6 months, but they went, this works for us.
Yeah.
So they pulled the trigger. Houses are being bought and sold every day. The sellers that are selling are basically recognizing, they're holding their nose and saying, look, I've got to get rid of this property. So if that's the price, that's the price. Buyers are very aggressive right now. Mm-hmm. I know that because when I'm on the buying side, I'm very aggressive. But it's an opportunity there. And so things will continue to soften. December is a great month for us as an investor-focused real estate company because a lot of investors come out and recognize you've got some pretty highly motivated sellers. Yes, there's less inventory, but there's way less buyers. And a lot of sellers are just like, look, I just want to know that my house is sold before Christmas. So we are starting to see a lot of investors starting to come out of the woodwork. They'll shop in the month of November, hopefully get a house secured by, middle of December. And then, again, in a lot of cases, these are flippers. So they'll buy the house, spend the winter months renovating it and getting it ready to put on the market for the March, April, spring selling season.
Yeah, I think human nature takes a while for people to digest the changes in interest rates and let that settle. And this is the new normal, and then to move forward. So we're seeing that a bit here as well.
Yeah, awesome.
What'll be really interesting is normally we don't really start to pick up in the real estate market until the snow starts to melt here, like around March, April. But this year it was January that the prices really started to jump. So it'll be interesting to see if it picks up again that quickly, or if it's going to take a little longer, like into March and April again.
Yeah, our big buying seasons are January through. Actually, our highest amount of closings is usually July. So we have a lot of out-of-towners starting in January. And then once the kids are out of school in May here, then that's when locals start making their moves before the kids get back into school the end of July. So
yeah, I always think that's a great example of the differences in real estate markets, because July, August is when things not slow down like Christmas, but people would rather take advantage of our short summer up here and hang out at the beach or camping or just taking in outdoor concerts instead of looking at real estate. So
Yeah.
spring is definitely our busy time.
Yeah.
Well, because our weather is beautiful here in the winter, I would just like to encourage
Day
people.
after day after day.
Yeah, day after day,
It's
every
gonna be,
day.
90 degrees tomorrow and the day
Wendell
after.
says he's
and the
in.
day after.
He wants to
Yeah,
buy a property
absolutely.
now.
So it's always good to get an investment property here. So
Although you talked about the nice weather, and we are going to have to wrap up here, but I have to compliment your choice of attire today, Diane, because I noticed we're wearing, I think, the same outfit.
I know this looks burgundy, but this is actually like an orange, but this
Oh, is it?
color is
Okay,
making
the
it
one
look,
is burgundy
yeah,
with the
it's
black
actually like an orange color,
jacket.
but
Isn't
yeah,
that
good
funny?
taste, Trace.
Yeah,
But you
it
don't
is.
have the
fur collar to go with.
Morky accessory.
That's right.
No, I don't. He's adorable.
Yeah, the fur
Wendell, you're
collar on.
cute.
He's like
All
a
right.
parrot. He will go right up on the shoulder.
My
Right.
mom will be out walking Wendell, and complete strangers will come up and go, "If you need a dog sitter, I'd be happy to watch your dog." And she's like, "Who the hell are you?
That's hilarious.
You're not watching my dog."
And what do you think her chances of getting him back would be?
Exactly.
Yeah, he's adorable. That's cute.
All right. Well, on that note, is there anything else that you want to add in here this week, Diane?
Sure. If anyone would like to stay in Italy for free when I move there, then please feel free to buy or sell a home with me. I'm also accepting donations through Venmo, Zelle, and PayPal, which are, I guess you guys don't have that in Canada. You can mail me checks from Canada. That's no problem. To the house buying fund in Italy. I'm kidding. No, I'm not. If you want to throw me a chunk of change, I'll accept it. All right. My email is can't remember her email @gmail.com. My phone number is 602-620-2277. I specialize in helping Canadians purchase investment properties and second homes in the Phoenix metro area. And I also help out of state foreigners. Well, I guess you guys, that is considered foreigners with all their real estate needs. And if local people are watching, I'd love to absolutely help you buy or sell a home and give you some information and start that conversation.
Awesome. And then, Devin, where can everyone reach you?
Yeah, Devin Gray, Mogul Realty Group and EXP Realty, handling real estates on the residential side in the Edmonton and surrounding area. You can reach me on my cell at 780-951-9279. And my email is Devin, Devin, @mogulrg.com.
And thank you to our special guest today for joining us, Wendell.
Thank you, Wendell.
Wendell Bendelson. And Toby in the background, all disgruntled. And thank you for joining us. We are back every Thursday, so we hope to join you again next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.